the box.
We're here at Nora's table with Kathy Watson, and I just got some fresh produce right from the farm. I'm Dan from Hood River Organic, flowing from the farm to you. And let's see what we have in the box for this late February. We have Need Bakery, a honey oat loaf, artisan, beautiful bread. We, of course, have our mushrooms. This week we have shiitake mushrooms. We have cremini mushrooms. Beautiful rainbow chard, kale. Get your kale in there. It's a superfood, and we're so blessed to be able to grow it here in the Northwest. As you might know, we had an amazing ice storm here 2 months ago, and it was such a relief after the snow subsided to see a beautiful field of kale still thriving in a lush green. Beautiful leeks, parsnip, wonderful Cascade Creamery cheese. We met this guy at the local Hood River Farmers Market. He makes cheese from organic milk up there at Trout Lake. Amazing cheese, love it. Yukon Gold potatoes, lots of them. Here's a terrific bag of biodynamic organic pears from Mount Hood Organic Farms. If you're juicing, this is a great sort of base with your chards and your kales. Wonderful Bosque sweet pears. Speaking of sweet, these Swiss Gourmet apples are to die for. Wonderful Swiss Gourmet. So are these little Fujis, by the way. These Fujis are amazing. Baby bok choy, a delicate, beautiful green that steams well, or again, juices very well, loaded with nutrients. Here's another wonderful item. We have the micro mix all winter long. It's sunflower, buckwheat, arugula, kale, Swiss chard, dill, beet, radish, mizuna, kohlrabi, and edible flowers. And it's just a wonderful, put in your breakfast burrito or garnish a dinner plate. Really, really healthy stuff. Of course, your dozen farm fresh eggs, radishes. Here's another Fuji. So here you are, and there's your bounty for the week, and it's just wonderful, healthy food. Kathy Watson, owner of Nora's Table, buys produce from us year-round. Thank you for that, Kathy. And I'm going to turn the show over to Kathy, and she's going to make a wonderful dish like she does all the time with our produce. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Kathy. Thank you so much.
So today, looking at this wonderful bounty, I think we're going to make breakfast for dinner, which is very popular at our house because we get home from the restaurant late at night, but we want something delicious with a very quick, easy protein. And for us today, that's going to be eggs. We're also going to use some of these terrific greens, the kale and the chard, the parsnips, some of the leeks, some of the mushrooms, and the potatoes as well. So if you're ready for breakfast for dinner, let's get started. So we're going to start roasting some vegetables today because that's what brings out their natural nuttiness and sweetness. So we're going to start with these parsnips, and I'm going to peel them with my famous monkey peeler here. And we're going to slice them and get them into the oven. And we're going to trim this guy down a little bit here. I peeled the parsnip, but I'm leaving the skin on the potatoes because what the heck, it's good for you. We're going to just lay these guys on a baking sheet. Don't be afraid when you're roasting vegetables to have the heat up high. You're just going to get a little more wonderful caramelized flavor on them. So we're going to just toss them with a little bit of olive oil and a little salt and pepper. And they're going to be the base for our great breakfast. And I'm going to pop them in the oven. Leeks really taste the best when they're cooked a little bit, so we're just going to cook them in some butter and olive oil with some of the mushrooms. Mushrooms are another wonderful thing to have in the wintertime when we're really hungry in the Northwest for fresh fruits and vegetables. We've always got Hood River Organic mushrooms on our menu. I've got a little butter in the pan. I'm going to add a little more olive oil. We're going to saute these for a while. And while they're sauteing slowly here, let's take some of this lacinato kale, and you can pull them off of the stems if you don't want the stems there. Some of the stems on the smaller leaves are really tender, and you can just go with them like they are. And we're going to use some of these, and we're going to use some of the chard, the rainbow chard. Such pretty colors in the wintertime, don't you think? And these guys are also so tender and young that I'm going to leave most of the stems with them and only pull the stems out of the larger leaves that might not be quite so tender. So now our mushrooms are getting a nice little golden sear on them. And I'm going to drop this nice kale. So now you have this lovely combination of colors here with the little yellows and reds from the rainbow chard and the beautiful brown edges on the mushrooms and the leeks. So I'm going to add a little chicken stock to the pan here. And you don't have to use chicken stock. You can, of course, just use a nice vegetable stock or even water. And I'm going to put a lid. I'm going to let that just steam quietly for a while. There's an old Southern tradition for cooking greens, of course, where you put them in the crock pot and you leave them there all day long with a piece of salt pork, but it's certainly not the best way to eat them, in my opinion. Lightly cooked. We also shred these guys very finely by hand, and they become a salad for the top of our steak. They're wonderful raw. So let's get an egg cooked and put our final dish together. Look at the color of that yolk. Isn't that great to see an egg with so much character? So these are our little roasted potatoes and parsnips. You almost can't tell the difference, can you? But when you tuck into them, the parsnips are so wonderfully sweet. They add a really nice texture and flavor to the potatoes. So we're going to put a few of those there. And we're going to add our lightly steamed mushrooms and greens that have been cooking away here. See how nice those mushrooms look when you slice them and leave the stems? They really look like mushrooms, don't they? And now we're just going to slide our egg right on top. There you go, breakfast for dinner. Enjoy.